Alright, I am back with yet another smoke alarm unboxing. This is actually a double unboxing of 2 units that I got from James, or Photoelectric Elevators, I guess. And both of the units in here are actually 2 of my top grails. So, anyhow, let's get to opening this, because I'm very excited. What the heck? Okay. This is actually something I have been wanting. A Pro box. I don't know if he knew that or if he just used this to package it, but that's actually nice of him. Oh, and a Pro owner's manual. I've actually been wanting a Pro box, so that is very kind of him. Put that off to the side. Now we'll do, what's this? I think this is actually for the probe. This is also for the probe. Anyhow, first alarm is this. This is the Wards. I'll be honest, I do not know the model because it is a ridiculously long model. Model A3-71666, I believe is the model. And of course, you probably saw the video of this on his channel. I requested him to do an unboxing of this. And then this one here, a 769AC-I, which you might also know about. So yeah, shouldn't be anything else. So I'm gonna start off with the Wards first, since this one is open. Put the box off to the side. Here is the owner's manual. I will not be showing the manual since this is a dull unboxing and I don't want the video to be too long, but there it is. Actually, that's interesting. This one has the domed button version on the manual. And anchors and screws. And then the unit itself. There it is. I've been wanting one of these for quite some time now. This was one of my top grails. In fact, this is the only Wards that I wanted. I don't want any other Wards version at the moment, so I'm very grateful for James for this. And as you can see, this one's actually got a tiered button, which is very rare, especially for collections. There it is, 84-71666-00 Wards. Now let's take the cover off. There it is, the banana horn. This is another thing I've been wanting for quite some time, is a unit with a banana horn. And this is from 1981. From if I recall correctly, these were with the banana horn. These were made as late as 1982. Has the BRK logo, sensitivity adjustment. Now, of course, I don't know if I already said this, but this is actually BRK 79R based. And here's the original BRK. This one has the dome button, of course. So this is what those look like. And there was a predecessor to this, and I cannot remember the model. I'll probably throw it up here, which was based off of this here. Well, based off of the 77R, which I'll actually demonstrate whenever I get to the next alarm. And then there was also a very, very rare Wards that was based off of this right here, the 1200. But those are very rare. And this one actually has the sensitivity adjustment just like this, which is something I never knew about these. And then the really early red, I believe it's the rust horn versions, actually had a sensitivity adjustment more similar to the 77Rs or SA76RSs. And then I'll put this next to the 79R with the cover off. As you can see, they're quite different. Of course, this one has the tiered button and the banana horn. And the PCBs are actually pretty similar. So yeah, this one of course is from 1984. This one is very late. And then they of course Firstler also had an alarm based off of the 79R, which is this. I got this actually not too long ago. This is the SA76RC. This has the same exact same circuit board as the 79R. So there's that. And then there, of course, was white button models. Now, I'm not actually sure if there were Wards versions of the 79P because I don't think I've personally ever seen one. But this is what those would have kind of been like. And I guess I can kind of demonstrate what a Wards 79P would look like. I presume they probably exist, but you just have yet to see them. Or I just don't remember. But this is what that would have looked like. And yeah. And the last alarm I'll show is another alarm that they also rebranded, which is very rare. Yeah, BRK 83R. Yeah, the Wards version of this is quite rare to find in houses, and then it's like no one has them. I think only 2 collectors have them, or technically only 1. The other one is a rebrand. But yeah. So anyhow, that's I guess all I have to say. I guess I'll plop a battery in this and give it a test, and we'll move on to the next alarm. Alright, I got a battery in it, so let's give it a quick test. That is very loud. 79Rs, I find are very loud, so I will not be testing it very long. Anyhow, that was the Wards 84-7-1666-00. So huge thanks to James for this, especially since it's a rare one. And I actually got this one in a trade with him. I sent him my old 769AC. So he also got a grail out of it. Anyhow, Now on to the next alarm. This one is actually yet another one of my girls, of course, but this one's actually one I've been wanting for a very, very, very long time, before the wards. And this is also just as high up as the RS was on my list. In fact, it took the place of this. And of course, it's a contractor box. BRK. Very, very different from my old AC box. I mean, I actually still have that, but it's way smaller. And I did request for this to be closed, for him to keep this sealed, and he did that for me. So once again, thanks to him, because I do really like opening these. So let's open it. This is how they wanted you to, so. This does hurt to do. Possibly. Oh, gosh. Didn't even come up all the way. Alright. Oh, and there it is. I'm very excited for this. I've been wanting a unit of this design for quite some time. Oh, possibly. Oh wow, it's really in there. Is this connected? It is. Oh, that's right, they want you to open it like this. Alright, there it is. Wow, that is awesome. I've been wanting one of these for so long, specifically for the cover design, and this is just awesome. Here is this. This is interconnection instructions. Of course, I don't have any alarms to interconnect it to. And then the manual itself. Put that right back in there. Put the box off to the side. And here is the unit. So like I said, this is a 769 ACI. This is the interconnect version. The listing that he got, if you know, had 5. And I believe he got 3 769 ACs, and then there were 2 ACIs, and he knew how much I wanted specifically the ACI one, and, well, he sent me one, so, once again, huge thanks to him. Wow, this cover is just awesome. I've been wanting one of these for a long time. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Anyhow, let's take the cover off. Here's the inside. Oh, the wires are tucked in there for some reason. So there it is. It's a decent bit similar to my 769 AC that I had, that I traded James for. This one actually has the older BRK horn, which is something that the ACs don't have, that came from that listing. And this one is from, I believe, 1978? I don't know what this is. I think that's an I, so I believe 1978. Or maybe 1980. It's got the same cardboard piece. This one actually has, this is actually able to be removed, so you can take power from it, but I'm not going to take that out. Clear LED. Green PCB, very similar to the Wards. Of course, the half coffin shaped sensor. Now, So I guess I'll just get into some of the history behind this. So these actually succeeded the SS749s, which were the ones that look like first alerts almost, which had the very large cover, which I do really want one of those as well. And then they had a bunch of versions of these. So they had the AC like I used to have, which had the first alert style cover. And then there was this version, or a version of the AC with this cover, which a few collectors have gotten recently, of course, from James. Then there was, of course, the ACI. There was a smoke alert version, which had an actual 76RS cover on it. There was line cord versions, the 769ACL, which James actually does have. Then there was a dual sensor version, the BRK 3000, which would have had a button here and a button here, of course. And depending on the version, some had wires and some didn't for interconnectable capabilities. Then there was a photoelectric version of this, 2769ACI, I believe, which are very rare. And then I think those are all the versions I can think of. Of course, there's the battery-powered version, which is the 77R. I don't know if I already said that, which actually used this base. This is just the SA76RS, of course. So it has the first alert cover. And actually, I can show what a 77R would look like by just taking the cover off of that and plopping it onto this. Yeah. That is another alarm that I am after quite a bit, although now that I have the 769ACI, I'm not too concerned. Then after this, they had their, like I just showed a little bit ago, they had their 79Rs, and then they had the 79Ps, and then they had their AC models, like the 79AC-I, I believe, 79DC-RI, 79LV-RI, 79, it's actually all I can remember. And then after this, they had their 83Rs, and then they had their 83RIs, which are hardwired, and those are very, very, very rare. And yeah, then of course I actually do have the successor to these, which is this. This is the BRK 1769ACI. So there it is next to the 769. And then they had their, I believe out of like mid production of these, they made these, the 1839 ACIs, which is the closest thing in my opinion to a 769 six-seater. And then they had their 1839 WNs and stuff like that. 86 RACs, of course, which were made all the way into the 2000s, and then the 4919s that were also made all the way into the 2000s. So yeah. Now, that's really all I have to say about this alarm. I guess now all that's left to do is to plug this in and give it a test. Alright, there it is under AC power, bright LED. So let's give this thing a test. This is going to be very loud. Okay, it's actually not as loud as I was expecting. My AC that I used to have was definitely louder, but that doesn't really matter to me. I just really happy to have one of these. That's the heater, of course. So anyhow, that's really all I have to say for the video. It's almost 20 minutes long. So I guess The only thing I really can say is huge thank you to James for sending me 2 of my grails, which is insane. I'll link his videos down in the description. So yeah. So I'll set these up for a thumbnail. Anyhow. Oh, and also, thanks to him for sending me the Pro box, which was unexpected. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this drawn out video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.